I've been dinking around with this Wilson Combat full-length guide rod for the Para 1911, and when I first received this thing, I noticed that they're not here now, and I'll explain why, but there was basically rings or lines from when they machined this rod, and you could feel them with your fingernail. I mean, you could just feel it like scraping, and then when you would install it with this collar in the gun, you could hear like a scraping sound almost, it actually sounded a lot like a Glock 17 third gen does, where they have that kind of scraping noise. And I was just kind of thinking, like, what could I do to make this have a lot finer finish than what comes out of the bag? And I started polishing it with some 1200 grit sandpaper, and I just, was just lightly worked the end of the guide rod, and then I was working up and down, and then I kind of thought, man, this is going to take me forever. So what I did is I actually grabbed a hold of one of my drills and basically just kind of chucked the guide rod into the drill till it grabbed like that. And then I grabbed this 1200 grit and I just run the drill like this and just work it, just nice and slow, and just polished out all those ridges that were in that rod from when they machined it, and got a way smoother surface. And it turned out a lot nicer. And what I did is, since the end obviously was chucked into the drill, a good 1/8 of an inch or a little more, I just sat there in the end. I just kind of took the time and worked the end as well. So that's kind of what I did with the end of it. And I just got this thing smoothed out real smooth, if you can tell. And it slides a lot better in the gun. Is that going to improve anything? I don't know. But the other thing too is I did take some 1200 grit and then just rolled it up real tight, like so. Got it tight enough where it would fit into this ring, into the collar. See if I can get it to go like that. And then I just sat and would twist this paper back and forth to kind of get a nice smooth movement. And I just did that for a long time. This was machined a lot better than the actual rod itself, but I went ahead and just smoothed this out and spent a while twisting this while I watched TV, just moving the paper through the collar, just working it. And then I just went ahead and did a heavy cleaning on the rod and put a little bit of oil on it and installed it. And it's nice and smooth. The guide rod sits really, really tight into the stock or the receiver of the gun really well. And it just, I don't know, it seems like it smoothed it out a whole lot more. And I just like the way it looks. Realistically, it's 50-50 that this extended guide rod really makes a difference between the factory just spring and cap or collar. The one thing that I kind of notice a lot when people talk about getting extended guide rods for their 1911s is that they say that they're just more of a pain in the ass to tear down. And I honestly don't have any problems with it. The only thing that I can kind of understand where people are coming from taking apart their 1911s and using an extended guide rod is this collar obviously has to be empty or have a hole in it for this guide rod to pass through, which can make it a real painful, task to pull or to push down to remove the receiver, tear down. So you have to use a 1911 wrench, and people complain about that, but I don't really care. I mean, I usually have this around where I'm at anyways. And I was almost thinking about trying to find one of these that comes in the form of a keychain, which would be kind of cool. So, but that's just kind of a you know, a little improvement that you can do on this Wilson Combat full-length guide rod, the 25G. So hope this helped you guys out. Let me know what you think. Take care and be safe.